Chapter 13. The Incubator. Outside time, location, Enoch's abode, heaven's realm, third dimension. Enoch gazed hungrily at the meal set before him. Fresh roasted vegetables, a tray of fruit, and some type of thick bread. For truth, I always feel so famished after training with the beloved. What is this? Enoch asked the minister who delivered the tray. She laughed as if he had asked the silliest question in all the dimensions and answered, "Well, it is exactly what you want, so you already know what it is." The minister watched while Enoch tore off a piece of the bread and took a bite. "Well, what is it? What is it?" she asked. "Alati cakes," he exclaimed. "Alati cakes it is, then," agreed the minister. "We were all wondering what it was, too." She nodded and left the room. Strange how everything in the third dimension was intensified, even the smell of food. The aroma from his tray made his mouth water. He was just about to take another bite when the door swung open. He lifted his head, expecting to see the minister bringing in more food. His jaw dropped. "See," said the beloved as he entered the room and took a bow, "I do know how to use the door." He grinned, enjoying his joke. Enoch looked mortified. "My lord, please," he said, "I meant no disrespect earlier. That thought came before I could—" "Relax, Enoch," said the beloved. "No offense was taken. I was just having a little fun with you." He paused and looked at the human for a long moment. Enoch was as stiff as a board. "You do realize that I am a person, don't you?" said the beloved. "Every emotion comes from us. You have the ability to laugh because we laugh." A million colors exploded from Enoch's head and filled the room with little fireballs of light. "Oh!" exclaimed Enoch. Then he smiled. "Well then, good job, beloved. You should use the door more often." The beloved roared with laughter. He could hear the guffaws coming from the Ancient One's hall in the seventh dimension. "And maybe you should learn to walk through them," retorted the beloved. "Touché, beloved," said the hidden father. Enoch looked puzzled. Then his whole face lit up with excitement. "I can learn to walk through doors?" "Of course," said the beloved. "As you learn how to use the mind of your dimensional body to rearrange particles, it will become as simple as a childling learning to walk." "When can I start trying?" asked Enoch. "Not yet," answered the beloved. "You are not ready for matter manipulation." Enoch's shoulders slumped. The beloved added, "But I do want to show you something new today. It will help you understand what we touched on during our last session. You are going to see how decisions affect derivatives." "Can I finish eating first?" asked Enoch, looking at the delicious meal he had barely touched. "No, leave the food and your hunger," said the beloved. He placed the palm of his hand on Enoch's belly. "They will both be waiting for you when you return." Enoch straightened up. He suddenly felt completely full and satisfied. He felt no hunger or desire for food whatsoever. "What? How did you do that?" asked Enoch. "Hunger is a choice. You can allow it or forbid it at will, with no consequence." "You will learn that too," the beloved smiled, "but not today." "Come, follow me," said the beloved as he walked towards the door and then him and fell backwards with a loud thud as his forehead smacked the thick mahogany panel. He sat up, looking dazed. "Use the handle, Enoch," said the beloved, laughing once again. More peals of laughter erupted from the throne. "I think I will join you for this lesson," said the Ancient One. Outside time, location, the Incubator, heaven's realm, seventh dimension. Enoch instantly found himself standing in a room, if you could call it that. The room had what looked like 4 normal walls with a solid floor underneath, except they were all made of the heavens. Oh, it is similar to I-1704, the panel that allows me to see Adama. Enoch reached out to touch one of the walls. His hand went right through. Enoch jerked his hand back to himself and gasped. That was no panel. "What is this place?" "Welcome, Enoch," said the voice. Enoch fell flat on his face. The voice was full of lightning, thunder, and wind. Enoch tried to look up but couldn't. The light was too fierce and the wind was too strong. It blew through him, leaving him painfully exposed. Suddenly, the light became kind, like the dawn rises gently to the full light of noonday. This light did the opposite. It diminished from immeasurable brilliance to something warm and tender you could bask in. Out stepped the beloved. "My father has decided to join us today," he said simply. "Come." At that word, Enoch was on his feet and standing before 2 beings of the purest light. "This is my father, the beloved." Enoch looked towards the one who stood engulfed in a cloud of light. His knees buckled and he collapsed, weeping uncontrollably as fire consumed him. Then, as quickly as it began, it stopped. He felt something like a cool blanket wrap itself around him. The moment he looked up, he was standing again, peering into the light of the Ancient One. Enoch could not see his face because of the cloud, but at least he felt strong and sure. "You are wearing my robe," said the Beloved, "so you may stand in the presence of the Father unconsumed." Enoch held out his arms and looked down at the pure white robe covering him. "This is the most beautiful garment I have ever seen." He could not find the words to describe its quality. I thank you," said Enoch, bowing again. "Now, is this not superior to Adam's garment?" asked the Beloved. "Yes, for truth it is." Enoch nodded his head quickly. "My Father's desire is that all sons of Adam wear this garment one day," explained the Beloved. "And that is why you are before us today," said a third voice, in the incubator. Enoch spun around. "Who said that?" he asked. He looked behind the Beloved and towards the hidden Father, searching for the sound. "I have heard that voice before, son," answered the voice. "You and I are well acquainted." "Enoch," said the one, "this is my spirit whom you call the One Mind." "Oh," exclaimed Enoch. He bowed until he was prostrate again. "Rise, my son," answered the One Mind. "You have done well and followed my voice all these years. Heeding my voice is the wisest thing one can do, for it has brought you into our presence." "Indeed," said Enoch. His eyes grew round with amazement at the being approaching him, like fire come to life. Multicolored flames of blue, indigo, violet, emerald, garnet, amber, and red exploded from every pore of his figure. Enoch fell backwards. "Indeed," he said again. The Beloved caught him before he hit the floor. "You are surprised at my appearance," stated the One Mind. "I did not realize that you are a—" Enoch stammered. "Yes, I am a person too," answered the Spirit gently. "Pleasure to welcome you here." "Let us begin," said the Beloved. With a wave of his hand, all four walls and the floor beneath him exploded into trillions of pinpricks of light. "You are privileged to behold our thoughts towards you. They have always been and always will be to give you hope and peace," said the Hidden Father. "And a future that is more than you can ask, think, or even imagine," added the One Mind. "Indeed," said the Beloved, "for you are wonderfully and fearfully made, unique among creation and crafted in our image." "Yes," added the Ancient One, "and in our likeness. This was the seed placed in Adam to the pinpricks of light, when I formed him from the dust of the ground, and breathed into him the breath of life," said the Spirit. "And man became a living soul," said the one in unison. "Male and female created he him, male and female he created them. And we saw that he was very good indeed," said the Hidden Father. "Thank you," responded the Beloved. He lowered his head, acknowledging the compliment. "And he prospered in the garden in which we placed him," spoke the One Mind, "growing in light and love as the derivatives multiplied exponentially inside of him, awaiting fullness." The Beloved snapped his fingers and a single spark zoomed towards him and stopped. "It is Mother Eve!" Enoch exclaimed, looking at an enlarged view of the single point of light. "Yes," said the One Mind, "a suitable helpmeet of himself was found for himself. Eve was handpicked and chosen by us from Adam to bring forth all the derivatives of Adam into the earth realm," said the Ancient One. Enoch turned around slowly, trying to examine all of the sparks of light in the room. Multitudes of them zoomed before Enoch, enlarging themselves, then receding back into the conglomeration of lights. Person after person appeared before Enoch, each beautiful and unique, until streams of light poured down his face like tears. He was dazed by their beauty and the instant knowing of who each was. Enoch fell to his knees in awe. "Adam was the son we always wanted, and Eve, the daughter we dreamed of," said the one in unison. "We enjoyed communion with them in the garden," said the Beloved. "Until one day he did not appear," said the Father. "The furious one deceived the woman," added the One Mind, "and Adam chose to follow her." Suddenly the room went black. Enoch staggered back and put his hands in front of his face. He was surrounded by the darkness and felt its weight. He stifled a scream. Its weight. He stifled a scream. On that day, said the beloved quietly, every derivative of Adam died. But I am here, said Enoch, his voice quivering with the dark weight of the heavy void. I am alive. Yes, you are indeed, my son, answered the father. You are here because of the who does not return void, but accomplishes everything we have spoken. When Adam sinned, the fail check was activated, said the beloved. What is the fail check? Asked Enoch. The beloved smiled again. You already know the answer to that question, Enoch. Enoch still looked dumbfounded. The word released. Enoch still looked dumbfounded. The word released the reconciliation sequence created before the foundation of the world, said the one mind. You do remember the reconciliation sequence, do you not? Enoch was silent, too ashamed he did not know the answer. The beloved stepped in front of Enoch and spoke kindly. Some hands and spread them in a wide arc. All of the zooming pinpricks of light buzzing about the incubator froze. Observe. Even Enoch froze, his gaze fixated on the myriad of beings before him in wonder. It was as if he could see them all individually at one time. His head tingled with knowing. Individually at one time, his head tingled with knowing. This is where Adam's potential is housed, said the beloved. We keep them safe here until the reconciliation sequence is complete, added the one mind. They await their arrival into the grave in perfect peace and oneness with my Father, said the beloved. There they will find the opportunity to fulfill my Father's thoughts towards them. Enoch furrowed his brow. He couldn't speak, but if he could, he would have asked, The grave? You are wondering why they are going to their grave in peace? Asked the beloved. Enoch nodded. Oh, of course, said the one mind. You call the grave the womb at your point. The perfect womb prepared for each of my children, said the father. That womb has the exact combination of the sequence needed to unlock the seed of my thought. It is an honor to birth the thoughts of the Ancient One, is it not? Said the one mind. Indeed, said Enoch, still staring at the marvel before him. Watch, said the beloved. He nodded his head. Watch, said the beloved. He nodded his head. Within an instant, somehow they were all in Adama. The Seti of Seth was bustling with activity. He watched as a group of Medici went in and out of a woman's tent. Sabasi assisted them, carrying buckets of steaming water and trays of herbs. Enoch's mouth twitched. His eyes. I apologize for your paralysis, said the beloved. I assure you it is temporary. However, the most comfortable way for you to move with us in this way is for you to be still. I do love watching the little ones come out of the grave, said the one mind, hovering over the woman birthing a childling. The mother sighed, hovering over the woman birthing a childling. The mother sighed and fell back in exhaustion as the Sabasi wrapped the crying young one in soft cloth and put her on her mother's chest. Yes, she is a good thought, said the hidden father, smiling with pleasure. Excellent work, my son. What is she called? The beloved beamed. She is called Medici, gently asked the mother. She is a beauty. The mother cuddled the child close and thought for a moment. She looked at her husband, who hovered over the baby, and smiled. She is called Zoe. A beautiful name for truth, said her husband, for she is life indeed. Now, said the beloved, stretching out his hands once more. With that word, they were either back in the incubator or Adama faded from the incubator. Enoch could not tell. It seemed as if they hadn't moved, but rather everything around them came forward or back. Now we see Zoe here, the beloved continued. This derivative of my father can now be, the beloved continued. This derivative of my father can now be tracked on I-1704. The panel just appeared in the room as he spoke. She has transitioned from the incubator through the grave and on to Purpose 1208. She is progressing nicely, right on track for maturity in the reconciliation. Purpose 1208 is the light stream I rode on to get to the Tower of Reckoning when I first arrived in Heaven's realm. Yes, Enoch, said the beloved, you remember well. All those destined for Adama are part of Purpose 1208. But how is that possible? Was I riding on the backs of people? Enoch seemed put off. People? Enoch seemed put off. The one mind laughed. No, little one, you were riding on the intentions of the Father. However, the intentions of the Father are connected to the decisions of people, said the one mind. Yes, added the beloved, When we observe I-1704 during my father for Adama and the decisions of the people progressing together, they are both contained in Purpose 1208. Although my Father's purpose is infinite and eternal, derivatives of our image can decide whether they want to become our intention or not. They have free will. So derivatives in I-1704 are the people I just saw? Asked Enoch. Yes, answered the beloved. But derivatives can also be outcomes because people create outcomes. Oh, said Enoch blankly. The father chuckled. He needs another picture. Of course, answered the beloved. Look. Immediately, they were back in Adama. This time, Enoch saw the familiar stone path leading to El Tava in the Seti of Nod. He saw Tubal-Cain's brothers, Jubal and Jabal, speaking with Father Lamech as they walked up the path. He is in quite the mood, exclaimed Enoch, noting Father Lamech's rage. The beloved snapped his fingers. Father Lamech's angry voice spilled into the space. Listen. This is foolishness, shouted Lamech. I will not tolerate more lies from these B'nai Elohim. They have made promises before. Where is the proof? B'nai Elohim Sinjaza sent word for the clan to all meet at El Tava, said Jubal. All meet at El Tava, said Jubal, carrying his stringed instrument. He said to prepare music worthy of a celebration. Fa, said Father Lamech. He slammed his rod against the stones as he walked. We will prepare our weapons and end this betrayal. Jabal, send word to the elders. I want every son of Cain armed and at the ready. Dash when he saw dozens of Simjaza's officers form a circle around the gathering place at El Tava. In the center of the circle lay Naamah's still figure on the stone table. Flowers and offerings of food surrounded her body. Enoch saw more than flowers and food. Hundreds of fallen ones darted back and forth, snickering. Fallen ones darted back and forth, snickering over Naamah and harassing the humans who were unaware of their presence. Would it not help if the people could see them? Asked Enoch. If they could see the fallen, they would know to fight. Wherever the fallen are present, answered the one mind, there are corrupt thoughts and evil imaginations. That is what agreed the beloved. When a son or daughter of Adam resists these thoughts, the fallen will flee. Look, said Enoch. He leaned forward and almost fell on his face. The floor of the incubator, or was it Adama, seemed to come towards him. It is Methuselah and Tepharah. They are both wearing the garments. Why are they Methuselah and Tepharah? They are both wearing the garments. Why are they carrying Tubal-Cain? Was he attacked again? Asked Enoch. The one all laughed. Well, at least they have help, said Enoch. He watched Anami and Delmar appear next to Methuselah and Tepharah as they carried Tubal-Cain towards El Tava. They will put an end to this.